Hey everyone, welcome to another Digital Hoarders episode number 22. I'm so excited that you all have joined us today. We have a full crew today, and we have a very, very special guest today, all the way from Warhorse Studios, Rick, and he's in charge of PR and for here in the US community, and I'm very excited. I personally have an investment in the game, general interest, and I know that the community is just hopping on this one. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us today on Digital Hoarders. Let's just get right into it. Gentlemen, we have Alden, we have Brandon, and we have good Sir Rick. Now,
Sir Rick.
Yeah, I am going to let you introduce yourself, Rick. Tell the viewers, the community, a little bit about yourself, and let's just have fun today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, as you said, I'm Rick, the U.S. Community Manager for Warhorse Studios, and I am the only U.S. boy, as everyone else is in Prague. And Toby, this one's for you, my PR manager. So we'll talk a little bit about that peanut butter you were saying earlier. That suitcase that he thinks I, tried to steal some extra swag while I was there because I lost my suitcase, or I didn't, whatever. But Kingdom Come Deliverance, that's our baby, and it releases in less than a week, and it's a first-person open world RPG. And we just can't wait for people to play it. It's based on actual history, and the setting takes place in 1403, and we base a lot of the game off of realism and balancing the fun factor at the same time. And you guys are going to definitely be in for a treat, no doubt about it.
That's awesome. I know for me as a history buff kind of guy, I've always loved the medieval age timepiece. Through the Crusades, through just the epic battles, the lifestyle, everything. So this game looks to be amazing. And judging by everyone that we saw on Twitter, and we've seen just all across social media and everything, it looks like you guys have a great reception. I'm just so happy for you that it's finally culminated to this. Gentlemen, Brandon, Alden, what are your guys' thoughts?
Well, I think the game looks really cool. I didn't know a whole lot about the game until very recently. It's a really cool game, and I'm really excited. And it's crazy. We put out the tweet that you were going to be on the show, and it just blew up immediately. People are really excited about this game, and it's really cool to see because we talked about it a little before we got on the show, but the gaming community a lot of times on Twitter is an awful place to hang out. So it's really awesome when you see a bunch of people come in together and get excited about a game and praise a game and talk about the things that they're excited about in a game instead of complaining about the characters not being able to jump, So I'm really excited to see it and see. It's out in what, 5 days now?
Yeah, the 13th. So a little under 6 days. Yep.
Jeez. What's that like for you? Just going from, how long have you been doing this now for this game?
Yeah, I can give you a little background. This is actually my first job in the gaming industry as the U.S. community manager. In March, it's kind of when I first started doing stuff with them, even in training, so it's almost 2 years. And then they made me the U.S. community manager in May of 2016. But, we're talking 2014 is when we, had our Kickstarter. Yeah. And, you can imagine when we're trying to pitch an idea to investors about a game with no magic. In fact, on the Kickstarter, the whole thing was Dungeons and No Dragons, So, we couldn't really find someone at first, any investor. We talked to almost everyone you can imagine, and no one really thought that we could make a game that's just based on actual history and bring in this realism in the game. No fantasy, nothing, And finally, we did find somebody, and they were saying, that let's test the waters here. Let's really see what we can get from feedback, and let's do a Kickstarter, right? And our goal was to do in the Kickstarter in 2014 around 300,000 euros. And by the time the Kickstarter was over, or at least in 2014, we were the third most successful Kickstarter that year, and we did over 1,100,000 euros.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. So our fans, that's why the excitement is building up now. Not just because of the backers, but the thing is they're like the backbone of, honestly, without them, we wouldn't I wouldn't, be probably having this conversation with you guys. So, and I know my man Jeff here, Doc, right?
Yep.
It's one of our backers, so really appreciate it. And shame on you two if you didn't back totally kidding, but no, we've come a long way. So there's a lot of excitement, and I really appreciate everyone's support and the community and gamers, press, whatever. It's really just like it's time. So we're excited, man. It's all the fans are the best part of our game, hands down.
Well, and I bet too, like having that investment in the game probably makes people want to talk about it more and get people involved and say, hey, come check out this game that I backed. So that's probably a really cool way to get people involved in the process altogether. Absolutely. Make people a little less negative. So you've been doing it for, sorry, I'm hogging the mic. You've been doing this for 2 years now, and it's go time. What is that like to go from like, all right, it's going to come, where it's a year out, it's 6 months out. Now it's time. Like it's now.
Yeah. So there's a lot. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of stress, and there's just anticipation, being nervous. It's our first game. I mean, we see the success so far. Everything looks great, but you still have that nervousness. Like, man, we just want it to blast off. Obviously, right? I mean, just being honest, we want it to blast off, and we want to have a long future and keep providing content for our fans. And and so yeah, obviously, it's like, oh my goodness, we are just. What keeps us going is honestly the fans, and I've been on Twitter so much. I mean, Doc, you got to be so annoyed. I am posting like every second, but the fans been incredible on Twitter, and like and then I'm on Steam all the time and Reddit because I manage those two as well. Oh. And I had to get some mods because like there's so many people are asking questions, which is great. I've done AMAs on like the PS4, Xbox One, and IGN Reddit accounts. Pages, and it's just been wherever. Yeah, we don't say no to anything. Like anytime we can talk about the game and get the fans involved, we do it. And it's so we're exhausted, but that's what keeps us going at the same time.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Brandon, now I'm gonna let Brandon speak for a minute.
No,
are you
to be honest, only when he says. You said that you had a hard time getting studios to get on board with something that is based in historical. And without, dragons and stuff like that. To be honest with you, that's what I'm more intrigued about because I'm not a huge RPG guy, but when I do try to dive into them and I play something like Dragon Age, it gets weird to me where I'm like, there's too much weird stuff going on here. To be honest with you, if you could take all of that stuff out and give me something that I felt the weight of my, of my actions and I there was something behind what I did as opposed to us, just killed this guy, but it's cool. I'll revive him with a +9 spell, whatever. But being able that's not a thing now, that to me takes this game and just shoots it above all of that kind of stuff because it stands out now and it's something that isn't out there already. I think that's super cool. Is eliminating magic and dragons and stuff like that because when I play video games, I like to try to put myself in that space and I feel like it's a little bit easier to put yourself in a space where there's not dragons flying around and wizards waving around magic wands and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think that's brilliant. So to me, that makes me want to play this game even more. I think that's a really cool avenue to go down. So
I totally agree with that. I mean, I feel you like on just the uniqueness of it. I mean, for someone that just really likes pure history and pure medieval. I mean, I see a lot of the elements from what you guys have actually been putting out there on social media, like your devlogs and little videos. I mean, I see Kingdom of Heaven-esque style of combat going on there. I see like Highlander stuff, Arn the Knight Templar, a lot of the things that, pure medieval life and just being able to immerse in it just by looking at it. It looks like you guys were able to create this rich, vivid medieval timepiece that's actually kind of true to its roots. So
absolutely,
yeah.
I mean, we've really taken a lot of pride in that, and the studio being that it's in Prague, I mean, in the Czech Republic, that's where the game takes place in medieval Bohemia, which is, modern day Czech Republic. And it's really interesting because that's where the Holy Roman Empire was really going on. That was like the big center of attention there when, there's a civil war going on between Hungary and Bohemia. and the half brothers go at war, and the half brothers are both kings. So you have King Sigismund of Hungary invades, right, and then King Wenceslas, but King Wenceslas doesn't even show up for his own coronation, and the Pope's ready to crown him. He's not there. I mean, so the king of Bohemia, set himself up, and basically because he was called the idle king, and King Sigismund abducts him and raids your homeland, and you're Henry, son of a blacksmith, and like your family's like, and most people are murdered, right in front of you, and you're on a quest for vengeance. And it's, while some of the events that are going to happen in the game are actually based on history, we also have some events that are not, of course, because overall, even Henry's fictional, and so it's based on a true story, right, if you will. But then again, in our game, history will repeat itself. But it's up to you how you get to that point in the game.
And something I like in video games, and one of my favorite like subgenre of movies is like a revenge stuff. So like just you saying that, like that helps. That just, you always feel like a badass when you're avenging somebody. So sold right again when you say something like that. Like I'm all for that. Like with like Rise, Son of Rome, another game that, where they had the scene where, you watch everybody and then he's trying to avenge everybody, and it brings out your inner badass into a video game. Same thing with God of War, like watching what happened to him and being able to avenge them. I always like that element in games and movies. I don't know. So I think that sounds awesome. So
absolutely.
All right. I'm just watching chat here, and they're very active and got lots of questions for you. So I figure we could ask you some of them. We'll go with this one because this one's actually interesting. Do you know whose idea it was to make an achievement for completing the game as a virgin? And can I give them a high five? That one's awesome.
Honestly, let's put it this way. Like, the achievements in the game are great, and the cool thing is you won't even be able to get them all in the first playthrough because, if you look at achievements, sometimes you try not to look at all. I try not to even look at all of them in games because sometimes like, is it going to give away something or this and that thing? Well, the bottom line is that you're going to have to play through it again if you're a completionist, because this game is all about the choices you make. Yeah. So the whole virgin thing or not, you'll see what happens in the game, but you actually get to make those choices. So it's actually really kind of fun. And it really reminds me of like a little bit of like when the choices you made like in Fable or Fable. Like do you guys remember playing Fable 2 and you like become they're about to send you on the ship or whatever, and you have to submit to the master, and he's like sucking away your experience. Submit to him, and I wouldn't submit. I'm like, I won't give in, and he keeps taking experience points. And and it's like you really got to think about that. And then we take it to our own level, and it's really exciting. But yeah, as far as the achievements goes, I don't know. We had a lot of people come up with those ideas, and it's going to be fun. A lot of stories will be told. That's for sure.
It's funny. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, definitely like to see it. I mean, I know some guys on the other side there. They like their achievements and trophies. So
yeah, I'm a pretty big trophy hunter. Brandon is too. I love that. When a game gives you the opportunity to do things that you normally wouldn't do. And I think that's what's so cool about that kind of thing. It's if you didn't have those there, you're going to play the game you normally would play the game. So having achievements and trophies like that in place, it just makes it more of a different kind of experience where you're like, well, you know what? I'm going to try this thing that I otherwise definitely wouldn't have done. And I mean, as long as you don't want them to be like, kill 3 billion people with the hand axe, and you're like, come on, like, I don't want it to be a chore. But when you get to do different things there, that's what I love about the process.
And when studios take the time and look at achievements and trophies and actually try to make them something, because I think for a lot of companies, trophies and achievements are an afterthought. There's something that they're like kind of at the end, and they're like, oh, that's right. Like we gotta, I don't know, like you said, like
3 headshots.
Go cool. Collect that whole armor. But like for people to put that much thought into it, to me, I keep saying that's sold, but that's something that's really cool to me is it clearly shows that the people that put time into that truly care about that overall progression of it. I think that's awesome. So that.
Very cool.
And just, if I may say, just too, like, it's sometimes you talk about the chore thing, which can be sometimes tough, when you grind your way through whatever. But, even though there's another playthrough, what's great about that is it won't just be getting the achievements. These different playthroughs, I mean, we have over 4 hours of cutscenes in our game. And some of those cutscenes are only triggered based on the choices you make.
Hmm.
And some of those events can even lead up to, like, you know, Doc can be saying, hey, man, I just had this amazing skirmish. It was like, you know, 20 or 30 of us all fighting, bam, bam, bam. And you can be like, actually, you know what? I got to that point and I talked our way out of it. Like, I actually intimidated the guy and I told him to get the hell out of here. You're causing all this trouble, you know, this gang or whatever. And then you're able to, you build up your skill high enough where you can make them leave, and you avoided the whole thing. So that's why, even though we have one ending in the game, it really is up to you how you get there. And you'll want to, I really believe people want to play it through again because you might want to try things a certain way. And even though we don't have classes in the game, the variety of the choices you can go and the ways you can solve quests, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see people stream it, especially like when people are allowing the audience or the fans to say what they want you to do, and you're not going to know. It's going to be crazy. So
that sounds really awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. That brings me to a question that I had that also ties in with the crowd. Do you know about the combat? I mean, did they try to do like as realistic? I mean, it looks everything they've tried to approach it as realistic as possible. But did they have to make sacrifices? Do you think it'll feel arcadey for some, or do you think it will be, you know, oh, I actually got to actually try at this. This one's going to be challenging to actually do a combat in it, because, you know, some of these games, I mean, like you're going to play Dragon Age or the others, you know, just wham wham, you're done, you know, just with the sword. But I mean, if we're going for realistic, like we're trying to do, it's a challenge. I mean, swinging a sword is no joke, you know. So I don't know.
So we actually have had professional swordsmen and fencers that worked in our us and in our mocap studio to show the actual animations on historical European martial arts. So, but the thing is we also have a balance too, because we have a balance between the realism and the fun factor, because you will have perks too in the game. You unlock perks based on earning them. So like if you unlock a perk where you can draw blood quicker, and then when you draw blood, people obviously bleed out, and then you can unlock another perk and kind of stack them where if you make it easier for your opponent to bleed, you'll get a strength bonus when they do bleed, when you do see the blood on them or whatever. And so, but at the same time, what makes it really fun is we use a physical collision system in our game. So what we do is we actually calculate the amount of damage you do based on what weapon you have, what type of armor they're wearing or not wearing, and how hard you actually hit them. Nice. So yeah, you can have the right weapon, but if you barely hit them, you won't do as much damage. You need to have that impact. And what's great about that physical collision is you can try and go into the combat. This is where it gets a lot of fun. Hey guys, okay, you want me to be like Spartacus? Guys, okay, fine. So you're trying to go like Spartacus and kill them off, so you get hit around like a ping pong, because like the physical collision system, they hit you in the back, you can spin you around. Like you can take your sword, you can pummel them to the ground, knock them down. You can unlock combos. So yes, the realism is there, and you want to pay attention to actually even the body parts and stuff. I mean, heck, I even had one time, I played the game a lot, right? I was going off the game over and over. And I was in this one scene, and all of a sudden an archer hit me in my hand. Son of a gun. And then I got hit in the other hand. I literally had 2 arrows through both my hands. I couldn't use it.
That's all.
Wow.
It raised my leg up in the air or something. But, and then what we also do is during the combat, you can't really just time out, change your armor, or just all of a sudden heal yourself. Like you have to leave the scene of combat, because we try to really give you that immersion. And when you put that together with even the music in the background, which we use a symphonic bohemian orchestra, you really feel like you're in that setting. I mean, even going back to the history and the detail, even the vegetation and the trees are from the Czech Republic. So, it gives you the idea you're really there. And that with the combat just elevates everything, and it's very intense. Because you can fight your way through most of the game or not. That's another great thing, is you can be a pacifist if you want, and sometimes you will have to kill, but you can go through most of the game and not do that. So it's really up to you.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like so much care has gone into the details of this game. It's just really cool to hear from you, because, like I said, I didn't know a whole lot about the game going in, and just your passion for it is fantastic. But it sounds like from the top down, everybody has that same passion for making this game, to get every little detail right and make every little detail special. And that's really important in a game. And it's one of those things that gives a game that kind of, you feel it, you feel the love that was put into that game. And I can't wait to try it. I mean, I'm excited now.
Awesome, man.
I'm ready to play it right now.
One thing you said a little bit ago was that there's no classes or anything like that, and I think that's really cool because whenever I do try to dabble into games like that, I'm always sitting there going, man, I bet it's cooler if I'm doing that. Like I know, like this is badass, but I probably should have picked that. And that's just the way I've always been. And I'm always like, man, maybe I'll do another one and do that. So not having that, I think is really cool because then I can just focus on killing people and not have to worry about, did I pick the wrong, the wrong class? I think that's really cool. So it's one thing I've said on the show a bunch is I'm not a big RPG guy, but literally everything you have said that is not in typical RPGs is the things that make me not play RPGs. So the no class, not all the fantasy stuff, that makes me very intrigued to play this now, where if all that stuff is in it, it's another RPG where I go, all right, that looks cool, but is it really going to hook me? You've literally taken out the things that hold me back from doing RPGs. So I'm freaking amped for this now. So
yes. Warhorse Studios. Listen, are you listening? No.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I've got the PC, I've got the Xbox, they're ready to go. I'm ready for both platforms, so I'm just ready to have fun with it. I'll take a couple more questions from chat because they got full of questions here. Let's see this one. So one person, so it has morality mechanics in it. I guess that's what you were alluding to, being a pacifist and everything else. So, consequences from killing and that stuff, basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, Henry will always be, just to clarify something, Henry will always be Henry. He'll always be a man of maybe a lower reputation, even though he does make, there's some important decisions he has to make in the game, and he's going to be a soldier. And bottom line is that, yes, the choices that you do make, can have consequences or different reactions in the game. As far as even your reputation goes, you have a reputation with individuals, or it could be with the merchants, the town, the city itself, whatever. And so if you cause problems, the AI in the game the NPCs, it's a living world. Okay. So they're doing things, and and rumors can spread, or things can spread if you're causing trouble. Even in the crime system, if you cause a problem and someone who's kind of intimidated by you see something, they need to go tell a guard. You're not just going to see guards magically show up. Mm-hmm. They have to actually report to a physical, when people are eating in the game, they have to go to a physical pot to eat, So it's a living world, and the choices you make in the game does not necessarily mean you're going to change the ending or change history, right? But it means that you can make those choices and have different scenarios happen in different quests, and it makes it a lot of fun, and so I hope that answers the question.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. We'll just continue this down this line I love that they're engaged. So they're wondering, hopefully I can understand this correctly. French voice, I guess the acting is as good as the English one, or should I play it in English to have a better voice acting? So I'm guessing French and English, which is better. I'm not sure.
It's just based on preference. Yes, we talked about English voiceover, but we do a French voiceover. It's just whatever really you prefer. I don't think you're going to feel like you're not going to get the same experience. You'll enjoy it either way.
All right. And the other one is, I want to know if the game will be on the DVDs that come with my collector's edition pre-order, if I have to download it all. Okay.
Yeah, so it also depends on the level you are. So what you want to do is for any back-related questions, we've updated our backers page. One thing I'll also say too is some people are wondering about when they get their key. They're going to get it. They're going to get their key. They're going to get their stuff in. Their profiles. Some are also wondering about their profiles. Everything's going to work itself out. Just make sure they go to the KingdomComeRPG.com and click on the backer rewards page, because we've updated it. And there were several different tiers. You remember, Doc, about that. So yeah, just check them out, and you'll be good to go.
All right, good to go.
I do want one question I saw in the chat that I want to get through. Dan asked, "Anybody want some Arby's?" I don't know.
No, you know what? For Toby's sake, I could take some peanut butter right now.
There you
Yeah,
go. Let's discuss. Go
Tell me
ahead.
all about the peanut butter.
Tell us about the peanut butter so Toby can hear this.
So tell everybody who Toby is.
All right, Toby is he's our PR manager. He's the man, and so he's my boss. You know, that's for better or for worse. So you know, we were at E3, and you know, I was definitely hungry. You know, and we're just kind of hanging out and in the hotel, and I see some peanut butter. I'm like, sweet, you know, and I'm like, okay, it hasn't been opened yet, but it's. I mean, I don't see anything that says don't eat it. So I, you know a couple scoops, and then later on, it's like, dude, I was supposed to bring this home for someone, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't you know, and greedy Rick, he calls me now, greedy Rick.
Oh no.
You got to bust each other. The other scenario that we had, because he mentioned in the tweet, was about when I didn't get my suitcase. I mean, I go every year. I go to Gamescom. You know, meet up with the team, go to the studio. We have a great time. And you know, I'm ready in was it Munich? I don't remember. Not Munich. Whatever. And
somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. And the suitcase doesn't show up. I waited for half an hour and I fill out this form. And oh man, we went to the hotel. This one hotel, whatever, by Cologne, Germany. They're like, oh yeah, it's possible your suitcase could show up any day now, and I keep checking in like twice a day. I never got my suitcase till I got home, which means I had to borrow everything, you name it. I was just saying. And what's hilarious though is, Toby let me borrow one of his like really special Kingdom Come shirts, and he's like, just don't forget to give it back to me.
Oh no,
and he's wearing it right now.
You know what? While we're talking about, let me ball out the hat too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that is
a sick
nice
hat. That is a sick hat.
I got
that hoodie's sick too. Yeah.
I got this is the older one, but this is pretty cool because this has got the logo.
The Warhorse. Nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
You know what I mean? So
I'm taking
perfect.
When I come visit.
That's the way all the kids are wearing them now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't know how to do it like this. Okay.
Yeah.
So I took the shirt home, but I'm just gonna skip over some stuff. But I took the shirt home, and he's like, I'm sorry. You greedy, you know. But it's back. It's all good. We love each other. It's just good, like locker room type fun and humor stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was hoping you were gonna unzip your coat and be wearing the shirt,
It's
like
here.
this shirt right here, like.
I gave it back to him. I should have. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I did. So, anyways,
That's awesome. Well, I want to change gears a little bit, and I just want to ask something about you real quick, Rick. What actually drew you into the game community to PR? What's your background? Or do you have a background of PR, marketing, any of that stuff? What drew you to this?
So this is what I really like talking about, because I like, especially with people who have really been trying to get in the industry, but they're worried about their background or like their college degree or this and the other thing. While Warhorse is a very professional company, one of the things that they're really good at recognizing is people who have a passion and believe in what they believe in. And that trumps everything. It really does, in my opinion. I don't have a gaming background. I have a gaming playing background, but not in the industry. This is my first job, as I think I was saying earlier or whatever. But, I was a fan before the game came out. And the bottom line is I just, I happened to be in the right place at the right time with these guys. Really how it happened is they put up a tweet on Twitter saying, that they needed help setting up a party in LA for E3. They wanted to set it up for their fans. And I was like, so on my phone, I just got back to them real quick, and I've been, in touch with them. And you really, anything, this is for anything in life. If you really believe in something, you want to do something, you have to go get it. You can't make excuses. You can't be like, well, I'm not this or that, I don't know, or I'm busy. That's when you get left behind, or you don't achieve what you want to accomplish. I mean, I do have, I thank God for this, that I have a lot of success in my other job, and I sell cell phones, and I do it more not on a retail level, but they let me work when I want, and I have my own clientele, and I have 5 kids to feed, and my wife, well, actually my wife feeds me. I mean, she does. And when I say that, I mean that in the most sincere way. Like, she's an amazing stay-at-home mom. I couldn't do it without her. So anytime I go on a podcast, or maybe not every time, but I mention her. I have to mention her sometimes because she helps me in stuff too. So
I'll bet.
Yeah, buddy.
The bottom line is, I didn't have any certain degree. We get so worried sometimes about that, and not that that's a bad thing, of course. But the point is, you got to go get it. You got to go get it. And I went and got it because I really love the game. I love the game. I couldn't believe I saw this trailer with it. I was waiting almost to see Magic or Dragons. I didn't see any of it. I'm like, finally. Now I'm working with these guys, and I skipped over some things. But the bottom line is what I have to do my best in everything I do. It's not okay if I settle for anything less than that. So that's a long story short, but that was probably still a long story.
That's good. You're on a podcast, so it works. It works.
It's a solid message. So.
That's awesome. I mean, my passion. I mean, we've talked about it beforehand, and I mean, I'm envious of you and Brandon. I'll say that because I mean, Jesus. I mean, I'm immersed in video games over here myself, so I mean, that's pretty much my dreams and hopes and next step after graduation. So
one day we'll make it work, Doc. Me and you.
I know.
Let's start our own company, Doc.
There you go. I'll invest. But it's true. But like Rick said, even when I got this job, it was one of those things where it was a once in a lifetime opportunity that it caused my wife and I to uproot our 2 children and move from Pennsylvania to Virginia in a 11-day span. And I'm talking pack up an entire house, find a house, and move and start working. But I didn't want to take that excuse of just being like, that's a lot of work. Like, that's a lot of running around, because had I done that, this opportunity was never, ever going to present itself again. So this is what I wanted to do, and I wasn't going to take no for an answer. So exactly what you said. That's how you have to be. So
absolutely. And it's not, and just to say one more thing too, is like, it's not just because I was going after it. It's that Warhorse Studios, I know I keep saying this, but I got to go back to it because they're an amazing company. And they asked me, to work for them. And I was so happy to do that because we just had a relationship that we built. And, when you have a company that's flexible and willing to give people an opportunity, not just based on, and I'm never trying to say based on a piece of paper for college, of course. It's way more than a piece of paper. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears there. But it's about the person more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I will agree with that. I mean, I think that's kind of why I do what I do. I mean, because me, I think character counts for a lot, and people's actions speak more than a degree on the wall over here. I think what you do speaks for yourself, and that's why I respect you. I mean, you're a man of God and everything else, and I have the utmost respect for you. So definitely so happy for you and all the success you definitely have achieved. Too. Well, I mean, let's switch gears here, gentlemen.
We completely skipped over talking about the games that we played, which is normally what we do. I want to ask, I'd like to ask anybody who works in the gaming industry, Rick, what have you been playing? Are you able to play much these days?
Well, there was a time before I had kids and was married, and
So Mario,
that is the thing, man. Like sometimes, like on the Switch, man, we're always jumping on Mario Kart, Zelda. Actually, they watch me. Being honest, they watch me, but hey, they help me with the puzzles. But no, at night, before I was with Warhorse at night, I would definitely. That's where I do the other games that definitely not PG, right? So, but now when I get around to playing, which is really hard. I'll play. I just started trying to play Monster Hunter with my brother. We just get so annoyed over trying to play online together. It's so frustrating. Monster Hunter and whatever. That's a whole nother story. Ghost Recon. I love Ghost Recon. You put Ghost Recon in front of me, and I'm going to play the multiplayer as much as I possibly can. And I don't know if I'll ever get tired of Ghost Recon, or especially Wildlands. I love it.
Did you kill the Predator?
Over and over again.
I don't play a lot of online games because when I'm not in front of a mic, I'm super quiet. I don't really like to talk to a lot of people. So I don't even like talking to strangers. So I kept trying to do it with the AI. They were so bad. Like I had one day that I realized before the Predator event ended to get all the bonuses, couldn't get it. So I was pretty bummed that I didn't get all the cool stuff from killing him. So.
And, that was crazy, especially with the music and everything.
Oh, it was so great! Yeah.
What else? I beat Dark Souls. Actually, Dark Souls 3, I beat that a few months ago, and then I beat Neo like last month. Well, I love those types of games. But I think other than that, Shadows of the Colossus, I was telling you guys earlier, I just kind of started that. I still have The Witcher to play. I have Uncharted 3 to play. I have Horizon. I have this backlog that goes way, I'll never catch up. But, I played
welcome to
one of my kids. That was awesome. So
welcome to Digital Hoarders. You're on the perfect show then. You hoard all your games. So
yeah.
Well, Alden, what have you been playing like crazy that you're obsessed with now?
What have I been playing? I'm still on Fortnite. I can't stop playing Fortnite. I don't know if I'm ever going to stop playing Fortnite, and I don't understand who I am anymore.
Just the guy that says Fortnite. Like
I say Fortnite so much because I don't stop playing it. I've talked about it on the show again. Before. I won't talk about it again.
Fortnite.
It's really great. But I picked up Monster Hunter. I've been playing that. It's amazing. It's Monster Hunter on PS4, and it's really, really fun. But exactly what you said, it's such a pain to try to play with people online.
Yeah.
And that's part of what made Monster Hunter what it is. I had been told for a long time that I would enjoy Monster Hunter, so I would pick them up and I'd try to play them here and there. I didn't get into them until I had a friend at work who wanted to play Monster Hunter 4 with me, so I got it on 3DS. Actually, I bought a 3DS and the game to play with him. And it wasn't until I was playing with someone that it really took off for me and became what it is. And I realized, this is what this game can be. It's really fun to play it together and try to tackle this monster and coordinate with each other and make sure that you help each other out and don't accidentally knock the other person off the monster when they're on it. And that's what made the game fun. So having that missing is a little bit disheartening. Not that it's missing per se, but it's definitely a pain. And it's 2018. It shouldn't be a 45-minute ordeal trying to get someone to play online with me.
I know.
But also I got at everyone's request, but everyone tried to get me to play Celeste. And oh my God, it's such a fantastic game. Celeste is amazing.
On last week's episode, you said, I really want to get it, but I'm not going to get it. There's really no need for me to get it anytime soon.
Yeah.
That lasted 4 days.
First off, I'm a liar. Second off, I'm a digital hoarder.
Yeah.
But Celeste is exactly the kind of game that's made for me. I mean, it's a 2018 Super Meat Boy. So it does all the things that Super Meat Boy did. The platforming is perfect, and it's just one of those where you mess up so much. I died last night in one level 270 times.
That sounds great.
But every single time you die, you get a little bit better, and you realize, okay, if I had just jumped a little bit earlier, I would have made that, and then I could do that little thing. But then it's also got things that Super Meat Boy couldn't do. It's able to do this really cool story, and as you play, you start to see a little bit more of what the story is going on about. And I don't want to spoil anything. I'm only 3 chapters in, but you start to see
3 chapters in, you died 270 times in one part.
Yeah, on chapter 3. So I can't even imagine how hard chapter 8's going to be.
Yes, screw that noise.
But you start to see little inklings of this is also a tale of this girl and her struggle with herself and her depression or her anxiety. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that going in. I don't know if they've talked about that much.
On Beyond, I heard him say, because they were talking about exactly that, and they said, Celeste is the name of the mountain. It's not the name of the girl. Everybody thinks that's the protagonist, but they did talk about that stuff a little bit, but they didn't go into depth.
There have been 2 times now where something has started, and it's been like, this is kind of cool and weird. And then you realize that it's a personification of what's in her head. And it's her, she's too nice to this guy. So here's this voice that's now out of her. That's the protagonist, or antagonist, sorry, that is trying to be mean to this guy that she was being too nice to. So this evil person comes out and is being mean to him. And as a person who's often too nice to people, until it's too late, and then you snap and then you're mean, it just resonates so much. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I don't know how much that has to do with the story. Like I said, I didn't know anything about that until I just knew it was a really cool 2D platformer, which is my cup of tea. But it's special, man. It's one of the best 2D platformers I've played, and that's my favorite style of game. So I'm interested to see where it ends. And next week I will talk about it because I can't wait.
Awesome.
Nice.
Brandon,
Did you watch your movie?
Did I watch my movie? No, I forgot.
You son of a...
Oh, jeez. Let's just
because you
pretend
were dreading watching it because Doc told you it's a terrible movie.
Yeah, that was the problem. Doc told me it was a really bad movie. So
It looks bad.
Battle of the Sexes won my movie poll last week for my digitally hoarded movies that you guys picked for me to watch.
And then you didn't even
And
watch it.
as we were doing the poll, Doc was like, I want you to watch Battle of the Sexes.
Battle of the Houses.
Battle of the Houses. Yeah, he did merge in all the movies into one title. I want you to watch Battle of the House because it's a bad movie and I feel like you should have to watch it.
And then it won the poll.
And then it won the poll because everybody hates me.
So, Rick, what we do is every week one of us picks either three games or movies from our backlog. We put a poll up that runs for 24 hours, and then whatever wins, we have to play and or watch that. We're supposed to. And then by the next episode, we can review on it. It's just a way of getting that little push to chip away at our digital backlog. Like Doc is up this week. So looks like he's preparing his list right now, knowing Doc. He's Battle of the Houses. And
I'm actually always like, I love doing this. So I can't believe I forgot. It's just been a crazy weekend. And it just hit me as we started talking about it. I started to like cold sweat and I'm like
maybe they'll forget.
Should I just say, yes, I watched it? No, I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch it. Anyway, Brandon, what have you been playing?
Mutant League football. It's not nearly as exciting as yours. So I used to play the Mutant League games all the time on the Sega Genesis. Did you guys play those games too?
Way back when.
Oh, so it's back now on PS4, Xbox One. But it's definitely like they understand that the people picking up this game are the people that played it on Genesis. So they're like, look, it's the same, exactly like you played, except we cuss a lot now because you're adults and you can handle this. But it's hilarious. It's just fun. It's just like I've already blown through a whole season in the game, and I just love. But it's and I'm determined to get Tim Kitzrow on the show. So Tim Kitzrow, if you're not familiar with him, he's the announcer on it, but he was the announcer on NBA Jam. He was the announcer on all of the Monster League games. Like the guy's just an iconic voice. But he's in this too, and it's just great because again, this is the voice of so many games of my childhood. Like his NBA Jam just echoes in every gamer's head, you know, like it's just a lot of fun. And that consumed me a lot. Like I played a lot of Monster Hunter, Mutant League football. I've given up on Monster Hunter. And I really didn't play a whole lot this week. I played a lot of that. More Fortnite. That game keeps coming up. And some little game called Twin Robots that's supposed to be an easy platinum that makes me want to put my fists to the wall. So yeah, I didn't get a whole lot of gaming in. I don't even think I watched any movies this week. It's been finished up on The Good Place. That's our go-to show on here, Rick. I don't know if you're a Good Place fan, but season finale now, so now we got to wait till next year.
Such a good show, man.
I watched a lot of The Office with my wife.
Well, The Good Place is made by Michael Schur, who co-founded or co-started The Office too. So it's got a lot of that kind of feel to it. It's really good. It's really funny. It's the funniest show on TV right now for sure, and it's one of my top shows of all time, along with The Office and Parks and Rec and Futurama.
Yeah, basic.
Get basic.
Yeah, it's they just finished up season 2. It's Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. They're the two, leads in it, but it's I've never seen a show do what this show is doing. Like it's definitely a fresh take on anything I've ever seen. It's absolutely hilarious. It's all on Hulu.
It's all on Hulu. The first season's on Netflix. It's just a really funny show. It starts out with Kristen Bell. She's in heaven, and she realizes she's not supposed to be. It was an accident. She wasn't supposed to be in heaven. So it just evolves from there. And the show takes so many twists and turns along the way that you can't even do it justice. All you can say is that's where it starts, and then
you can't even really get into it at all. But yeah, it's especially like he said, if you're a fan of that style of humor, it's right up your alley. And it's 2 seasons, so it won't take you long to get through it. You can binge it pretty quickly. So
that sounds like my PR manager. If he was in heaven, he probably doesn't belong there. So
and he'll say you don't belong there because you stole his peanut butter. So
probably more than that.
Doc, what have you been playing? Before we talk about our Digital Hoarders Backlog Club, because we need to talk about that too. Go ahead.
So, as many of you know, I've been posting about Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch. That game consumed me for 3 days straight. I beat it. I'm close to 600 stars right now in the damn game, I think.
Wow.
So, I literally have just been going every single night. Like last night, I played for 5 hours and then got back up at 2 because I couldn't sleep. And yeah, it was weird.
So when Brandon asked if that couch is where the magic happens, yes, it is. That's
where all the stars are earned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am absolutely just loving it. So it's just moons. Sorry, not stars, moons. Okay, sorry, folks.
Ooh.
Yeah, I see someone said moons. Yeah.
If you're collecting stars, I don't know what game you're playing. Like,
I literally was talking to Mr. McCaffrey about the game, and I was just like, name drop. But it was just because it's phenomenal. And I mean, if I would have played this game when it came out last year, I think that would have been my game of the year, to be honest, versus Zelda. So
the guy who hates Nintendo so much. He's back.
Yeah, it's just I think it evoked so many emotions and just happiness, and it gave me such a wonderful feels, I guess. That game was awesome. So
yeah, I told you I played it for 15 minutes, and in that 15 minutes, all I can think about is going back and playing it because it just gives you that happy feeling that the early Marios did. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I've been doing. Literally been playing that.
I'm glad you learned about the share button on the Switch. I kept calling him out on it because he kept taking pictures of it. I'm like, there's a button on there that'll do that for you.
Oh, I forgot. I'm not on Xbox. I can actually share. That is my one complaint. It's like, just put a share function on the controller next time, please. I'm like, the dang thing has so many buttons on it. If you're like, oh, just put it right there. Just right there. It'd be perfect. Just make a little something. Be easy. Hey. So, but yeah. So definitely been doing that. Play, of course, PUBG and a little bit of Monster Hunter. So I've been playing this new game. It's Redout, I think. It's like a Wipeout, but it's
yeah.
So I've been getting into that. That one's really cool. I like the fast pace. I always love the Wipeout series, so this is a new take on it. So yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
A little bit steep for the $40 price tag that it came with, but yeah. I'm hoping it gets a little bit deeper and more content for the value. So
nice.
Yep. So that's me in a nutshell.
So out of your backlog that you named off, Rick, you said Horizon Zero Dawn, and you had a whole bunch of them. Which, if the game comes out and you can sit down and actually play a game, which one would you tackle first out of that backlog that you have?
Jeez Louise. Maybe The Witcher 3.
Okay, well, that'll take a while.
There's 800 hours gone.
I'll tell you what, once our game comes out, I'd actually like to play my game and I like to play it the way I want. And as much as I've played it, I really need to just I just want to play it as a fan. You know what I mean? Like,
understandable. Yep.
Do because I've presented this game for hours upon hours upon hours to the press, fans, and I love it. I actually love that. But now I can, do all the things different ways and this and that, things that we didn't have available to show at the time, or the full game, obviously, is what I'm talking about. I want to be able to just, boom.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll probably never catch up. But yeah, The Witcher would probably be that, or I don't know. Horizon looks so good. The Uncharted, I don't know, man. You name it. I want to play it all,
Yeah.
Horizon is... Yeah, Alden has gone on record. It's his all-time favorite game now, and it's in my top 3 of all time. I mean, that game's special. Alden will rave about it if you let him. So.
Yeah, I'm going to try not to because everybody who listens to the show already knows how much I love that game. It's easily my favorite game of all time. There's something really special about it. It does so many different things and does them all so well. Look what you made me do.
Sorry, buddy. I know you never mind talking about Halo.
PUBG. So did everybody play Inside? Rick, have you played Inside?
I have not.
Okay. So,
amazing.
Oh, we found a difference. Yeah, because Doc's not in the Discord. Alden started up a Discord for the Digital Hoarders, and 2/3 of the Digital Hoarders are there.
Yeah.
Doc
Was like, downloading now. I'll be in there soon.
So
he'll
I'm
come
gonna
in and be
tell
like,
you
"Battle of
what
the
happened
Houses."
with that. I
here we
downloaded
go.
Discord, and I failed to realize that I had the Xbox Discord, I had my organization Discord, I had my private Discord, I had my outreach Discord. I had like 8 different Discords, and my phone literally bricked. I was like,
I just hear excuses.
None of that even makes sense to me, Doc.
Yeah, you just said Discord a whole bunch of times. That's all I heard.
Did you try to log in as all 8 at the same time?
No, because I'm under one account, so they're under the thing all on the side, and like all the messages were just. I was like, okay, I will just get to this later, and then I never got back to it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so what we're doing, Rick, and anybody new in the chat, we decided we talked about it a bit a few weeks ago, but we all have backlog games to get to, games that are years old that we never got to, games that we've always wanted to get to. And I was finding, especially recently, I was playing the original Nier, not Nier Automata, the first one. And it was like I would come on here and try to talk about it. And it's like nobody wants to hear about this game that came out 6 years ago that looks like an old PS3 game. It's fun, but nobody cares. So we thought it'd be cool to kind of create a place where people can get together and play these old games together that you otherwise wouldn't be able to go into GameStop and be like, hey, did you try that new game Inside? So every month we pick a game, and like a book club, we go in and we play it. And at the end of the month, we talk about it. So this month we played Inside because it's a short game, and we didn't get around to starting this until like the 15th of the month. And Inside went on sale for each platform as soon as we did that. So you'd think we did it on purpose, but no.
We don't think that far ahead.
We did think far enough ahead for February, though.
It's true.
But so anyway, we did the Discord, and everybody jumped in. It was a really fun experience. I can't recommend enough that anybody in the chat, anybody listening later, check us out on Twitter and join the Discord now. If you just log into the Discord now, you'll be there for the February game talk. And you can look back over all the Inside talk, I think. And I think we all kind of agreed in the chat, at least, and Doc wasn't there, so he couldn't voice his opinion. It's a really, really fun game with really cool puzzles, really well thought out puzzles, puzzles that really make you feel like you're smart without making you also feel like you're stupid when you can't figure it out. They're just hard enough to where you're like, and then as soon as you think, I'm not going to figure this one out, you get it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to look up any of them online, which is fantastic.
Nice.
But we all kind of agreed that it was a little bit too mysterious for mysteriousness's
sake. It didn't reinvent the wheel. Like it was, I think it was one of those things that, and this was a common thread in the Discord, was it popped up on almost everybody's Game of the Year talk. I don't understand that at all. Was it a fun game? Yeah. Was it Game of the Year? No.
Right, and that's
by no stretch of the imagination. When it was going up against what, like Uncharted 4? And no, get out of here.
It was going up against Uncharted 4 and Overwatch and all these games that really did something large and spectacular, if not inventive and new. Whereas
Inside is just a little bit more colorful Limbo.
Yeah, if you were to tell me that was one of my top 10 games that I played in 2016, I would have been like, great, like I'll try it out. But because everyone just kept hammering it home as you got to try Inside. Inside is really like, it's so crazy and the story is so deep. The story is not deep. It's kind of
Warhorse Studios is in the house.
It's kind of oh, hi Warhorse Studios in the chat.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, Warhorse is in the chat. They're here to check up on you, I guess.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, hello, Warhorse.
In the morning. We don't sleep these days anyway, so.
Yeah, I'll bet, man.
You jumped on at the perfect time. We're just talking about how awesome Warhorse Studios is. Mm-hmm. So what timing? Mm-hmm. We've been talking about how great you guys.
Wink. But yeah, Inside, it's a really great puzzle game. It's a really fun game. It's not, the story is just weird, and it seems like at times it's just weird, so that it'll get people to ask about it. Like, hey, what'd you think about that? I think they just decided to do that because it made sense for a puzzle, and they acted like it was super
Something
mysterious
deep
and
underneath
weird.
it, yeah.
And it's a fun game. I'm not knocking it. I just don't understand the game of the year talk. And
Correct.
that seemed to
Agreed.
be the consensus in the chat. So, Doc, you disagree?
Oh, 100%.
It's because it started as an Xbox exclusive. So Doc was just,
yeah.
and once it's in, then if that came out anywhere, he'd be like, it was all right. It started as an Xbox exclusive. So for Doc, man, that was game
Let
of the
me
century.
learn you some education now. Okay, here we go.
Oh Lord,
All right, so
Doc is so
inside,
sassy
he
when he
gets
gets an
Southern
attitude.
girl sassy. It's pretty great.
with inside, you have to use your brain. So with it God, that's what so anyway, no, inside is actually fits the traditional mold of actually that it fits that indie role. It thinks outside the box. It breaks the mold in traditional storytelling, platforming. There was a purpose to it. If you a theory that I put together when I talked about this a couple years ago, when it was my game of the year for Xbox, for the Xbox platform. Okay. Okay. But anyhow, with it, the boy, was being controlled by the group. And the scientists were using the group to control this boy to gain all these, intelligence, the powers, the strength, and all that stuff. So he could come and get the group together, right? So it's all about collectivist minds and thinking. I don't want to ruin the ending or even the surprise secondary ending that you have to kind of finagle.
Still just
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I went, oh.
So that's what I'm trying to say. If you saw the secondary ending, then that kind of revealed what the whole basis of it was, it's just this crazy, like, oh crap, it's computers. And so it brings a different thinking to reality that, we are being mind controlled by computers. So, I mean,
sorry for the chat.
We're laughing because as you're talking, Dan posted in the chat, what the hell are you talking about, Doc?
Which is great, though, because I've read after beating it, I've read 9 different things that are vastly different than what you're saying.
Yeah,
and that's the thing I think that Alden was talking about is it's one of those things that the writers are just like, you figure it out. It's whatever you think it is. And you're like, no, just...
Exactly. That's what indie is all about. I mean, a direct translation from indie filmmaking to, indie games. Yeah, but you get the freedom that thinking.
Really. Like, this game just really was just like, here. Because, all right, so for example, if anybody in here has seen It Comes at Night. No. Has anybody seen that?
I was playing my video.
You did?
Oh.
Okay, so... the thing about It Comes at Night is that movie ended. I went and saw it with 4 buddies of mine, and all 4 of us walked away going, "It's this." And then he was like, "Nah, it's this." And he's like, "Nah, I think it's this." I'm like, "Actually, I think it's this." So it becomes that argument where you go, "Is that lazy? Is that lazy writing, or is that because no? The writer clearly had an ending. No writer writes something and goes, "I'll just let you guys figure it out." There's something he wants you or she wants you to ultimately see. But when everybody has a completely different take on it, I don't know. I don't think that that's just indie for being indie's sake. I just think that was just them trying, like you said, trying to be quirky and make you think this is different. Like, because I don't want to spoil It Comes at Night, but if Rick and I talked about it offline, you and I probably have vastly different opinions on what really happened in that movie, and all of them make sense, but sometimes you just kind of want to know, no, what did you write?
I like the way they ended it. I don't want to think about it. I want, it's a movie. Don't do that to me. I'm just saying, it's me though. So
yeah, I mean, I guess I'm thinking way too out of the box. I mean, because it's fresh for me coming from Sundance, learning that that a lot of these indie artists are trying to break that traditional Hollywood stereotypical. You have your your hero, you have your protagonist, you have your objective, you have the problem that they must overcome, and you have conflict resolution, which you have a happy ending, which people, it's a mold. You know what's going to happen through the movie within the first few minutes with it. But indies, they're trying to take it where, we'll mess with the whole timepiece, we'll mess with how it's rearranged, if there's even a protagonist, is there a problem, how can we masquerade this, can we propagandize this in a black manner or a white manner, do we show it or don't we show it, so I'm sorry, I'm totally going off of my rabbit trail today.
You're good, dude.
We got Sundance Doc back.
So I mean, yeah, it's good.
Anyway, Inside was a fun game that Doc is in love with, and I like a lot.
And I said that was a game.
That's a game.
It was a game that I beat, and I 100%ed it with trophies. So I'm
got all the trophies.
I'll tell you right now, though, back to your game, I will never get the aforementioned version. I will never get that trophy because I will be like, "What? That's an option? That's happening."
Yeah, as a guy with 4 kids,
yeah,
I didn't expect you to get that trophy.
Nope. Hey, Rick's got me beat. All right, so
5 kids.
That was Witcher 1 for me. I literally was playing it on my PC in Iraq, and I was like, oh, well, Lady of the Night, why not? And my chief's like, what are you doing with her? I was like, well, Chief, it's
when a man loves a woman. The first game I remember that being a thing was God of War, and it was like in the mini game they made out of it. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
this is amazing.
Weird to me. It was just weird to me.
Little Henry's about
so is there mini games in Kingdom Come? Is that there we go. Mini sex QTEs like they have in God of War. Or is it slow panning away? Do we get Witcher style? Let's get into
Goodness gracious.
Let's get into this.
This is a problem.
You said 4 hours of cutscenes. So is it all?
Oh my god!
15 things, and I'll leave it at that.
50 Shades of Deliverance. Here we come.
Yeah, I do want to say with Warhorse in the chat now.
Yeah, we gotta make it look like I'm doing my job here, boys.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been killing it, guys. We just went on a rant, and we apologize for.
Yeah.
But Warhorse, since you're in the chat, how do you feel about taking away so many people's Valentines, because people are just going to be sucked into this game now? So I mean, like, Tanya's going to never even see you anymore once you start playing this game.
Warhorse said they're just controlling Rick. Okay.
It's Inside all over again.
Oh, no.
Doc, explain it. Go.
What happens is... that's too funny.
I mean, I actually love being able to say it's like the perfect Valentine's Day gift. You know what I mean?
Damn straight.
It's awesome, man. I had this one girl. She's like, man, I can't wait because I'm going to get it for me. And then I'm going to wait and sit outside while I play. I don't even want them in the house. So.
Oh shit! Sorry. I just realized that it is Valentine's Day next week, and I haven't even thought about it.
Oh jeez,
that's what we've been talking about, Doc.
There's a realization on.
Oh no.
Let me put that in my calendar real quick.
We know what Doc's running out.
All right, so let's vamp while Doc tries to order flowers. So anyway, our game of last month was Inside. It was a really fun experience. I hope everybody joins us for February's game. For February, we've gone with a game that's even more even easier to acquire. It's Rhyme, which also came out last year, and it works out because for February, Rhyme is free in PlayStation Plus. And it's also coming to, or it already came to, I don't know when Xbox updates, but it comes to Xbox Game Pass this month. So
it's already in there.
Okay, so you can $10
for $10 either way. If you don't already have PS Plus, get a month and you can play the game. If you don't have Xbox Game Pass, get a month, you can play the game. And also, I think with both of them, if you don't have them, you can get a free trial, play the game, and then stick around and pay them more money. But it's also on Switch now. I think it came out a couple months ago. It is $40 on Switch. But,
Switch.
But you can play it pretty cheap everywhere else. And I think you can get it on PC for like $10 too. So join in with us. What did Warhorse say?
Warhorse said everybody can do chocolate, but having Kingdom Come Deliverance and saying, honey, let's slay some bandits, priceless.
It's true.
This is true.
It's true. Make your Valentine's Day special and different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I'm doing something
Doc is
special for
ordering
the
Kingdom
game.
Come Deliverance for his wife right now.
No, I'm actually surprising the crowd. So whoever's going to be the fastest at this, you might want to open up a redemption link to Xbox. I'm going to put out an Xbox Game Pass code, so one of y'all can have it and try it for free this
nice
month. So
and
give me
play
2 seconds.
play Rhyme with us. So.
Yes.
Hop on Twitter,
but play Rhyme and have it beat by the 13th, so you can play
Kingdom Come Deliverance, baby.
Yes.
PlayStation, Steam. It's a wrap.
Oh.
Yes.
I saw that. Is Warhorse? You guys are teaming up for that. The is a PC giveaway. I think I saw.
Yeah,
I think sexy.
Yeah, it's an Alien Aurora R7 PC, and we're giving away a digital code as well, and we're announcing the winner February 12th. So if you go to Warhorse Studios Twitter account, then that's where it's at because it's still going. So
that's awesome.
Yes.
Enter. Mm-hmm.
Excited for that. Well, gentlemen, it's about that time.
It is about that time.
It has been an amazing episode.
No, it's not. Don't leave. You have to do your poll. Sorry.
Oh, this poll? Okay.
Oh, that poll.
All
He's
right.
like, this one that I was writing down when I told you I was.
Yeah. So, anywho, so these are going to be quick and easy for y'all. One's not basically where you can beat it. It's kind of just in what it is. The other ones I will give. I really need to get to them. One I have only made it to the gas station part. That's Final Fantasy.
So okay, good.
Yeah, the newest Final Fantasy, and then Titanfall 2. I got to the part where I
I'm
get in a
surprised.
mech. I've had a lot on my plate.
I got to get in the mech. Isn't that 99% of the game?
I was like, "Oh, this is fun." Oh, okay. All
right, I'm out.
That was a crazy launch period for a bunch of games. I was like, "Ooh, this game! Ooh, this game! Ooh, this game!"
Yeah.
Oh, what
Fair
games
enough.
do I
Fair
play
enough.
now? So, yeah.
That's why you're on the show.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last one, I couldn't decide, so I'll let you guys choose the third one.
Rick, this is on you. You pick his third game.
All right. So it's Avon Colony or Skate 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yes.
And Skate 3's. So we also like to put our vote in because we keep ending in ties. Skate 3 gets mine because Jason Lee is in Skate 3 and Jason Lee's the man. So Skate 3 for me.
I was a skateboarder as a teenager, and it's one of my favorite things to do. I miss it so much. Skate 3 is so close to actually doing it. It's such a fun game, and Jason Lee is amazing.
Yeah.
So Final Fantasy. No, Skate 3.
So Battle of the Houses. Rick,
Battle of the House.
Rick, of those three, what would you recommend he plays first?
Skate 3, right?
Skate 3?
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Skate 3. Do it.
All right. Yeah, it'll be my
That's
week.
a ringing endorsement from Rick there. Yeah, sure, whatever.
He'll still
He's
play.
like, I don't care. Just play Kingdom Come.
Yeah, he'll still play Kingdom Come Deliverance.
So I do got a quick question before we roll about Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. I mean, you know my rig. I've posted my rig a lot on it. Is this thing going to be 4K just to the max, like just melt my eyeballs on my PC?
I mean, the bottom line is depending on the PC you have, the game can run really well. You know what I mean? Like we didn't put a cap on the frames
Okay.
on PC, so you're going to be able to have a lot of fun with that Cry engine and our engine.
Okay.
It's going to look pretty. It's going to look pretty.
All right, yeah, because I got dual 1080 Ti's, so I am ready to.
Listen, man, you got to stream the crap out of that game. It's going to look gorgeous, baby. You got to stream.
All right, sounds good. I've got the Gigablast internet, so I definitely can do that now. So
Yeah, I gotta say, I was gonna get the game before now, but just your passion for the game and Warhorse's passion for the game has just sold me 110% today. I've gone from I'm gonna get that and play it to I can't wait for that game to come out.
He just pre-ordered it while we were sitting here, probably.
Yep.
So yeah, no, and like I said, and Warhorse missed all that, but I'm glad they're in now so they can hear me do it again. I don't even like RPGs, but I am so sold on this game because of what Rick said, and then hearing, like Alden said, hearing the passion, but hearing things that I don't like about RPGs were removed from this. no classes, no, mythical and dragons and wizards and all that stuff, like, rooted in reality, and you're going to feel what you're doing. That makes me want to play this game so much more than it ever would if it was just another game with dragons and wizards. And, I like Alden said, I've always thought the game looked really cool. Now it's like I have to have this. I wish it was February 13th.
Well, and on that same note, I love RPGs.
Yes.
But I also love when a game is doing something that not everything is doing.
Yes.
And it's weird that having no magic and no dragons it's
a selling point.
Yeah, it's weird that that's a selling point, but it absolutely is, because it's different and it's going to have a completely different feel than anything else out there. So I love that, even though I love RPGs.
And if I may say one thing too is, this is a great game to play if you've never played a role-playing game before, because while I've talked about all the intricacies and the choices you make in the game and the realism, you could just be your typical, like whatever, teenager parents. Well, I know it's Peggy 18. Okay. You're going to play that are younger than 18, whatever. I'm just saying. And if they can play it and never know it was based on history. Even though we stress, and you'll see in our codex, we do talk about the actual events that happen as you discover locations. It's really awesome. But we even have like an awesome guide tutorial inside our game that you can look at and how to do each thing, without trying to feel overwhelmed. So anybody can play it. The way, given that we give you so many choices on how you can play the game, that's why you can step into the first time as playing a role-playing game, and you will role-play. That's a big part of a role-playing game, right? You're supposed to role-play, and you will in this game. That's what's going to make it a lot of fun, for sure.
I can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
I can't wait next week.
Yeah.
Nobody listened to Silver Ski. But I can't wait.
Yeah.
Everybody say hi to Silver Ski. Silver Ski, Silver Ski, Silver Ski.
Silver Ski's in the chat.
Silver
All right.
Ski.
Yeah, I can't wait for King to come. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm sold 100%.
Let's
Good
do
job.
this.
You did your job. You did your job and then some.
Warhorse, give this guy a raise. This guy's amazing.
Yeah.
He just took this whole chat, like watching people like us, Alden and myself and Dan in there, literally within like 2 minutes, you just saw people go, oh, yeah, no, I need this game. So thank you for doing this show. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you, Rick, once again for coming on. It's truly a pleasure. And I'm so proud of you. Congrats to you and the whole team and everyone back in Prague. I want you to have a safe journey. Godspeed and God bless and much success. So.
Same to you. Thank you very much, guys. It's an honor to be on here. Really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone for tuning in and hearing about Kingdom Come, and all these goofy guys say their stuff too.
Agreed.
stay tuned for more talk about peanut butter. Let's do this.
All right, everyone. This has been another episode of Digital Hoarders. Thank you all, and we will catch you next week. Have a great week.